Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about someone whose voice has touched the world. Adele. Her full name is Adele Laurie Blue Adkins, and she was born on May 5, 1988 in London, England. You probably know her from songs like Someone Like You and Hello, songs that make us cry and smile at the same time. She's won 16 Grammy Awards, and her albums like 21 and 25 have sold millions. But today, we're not just talking about her music, we're talking about her personal journey, a story that makes her a true inspiration. Adele has always been honest with her fans. In her interviews, she shares real stories about love, heartbreak, and happiness. This honesty makes people feel close to her, like she's a friend, not just a famous star. But here's something you might not know. Adele faced many challenges in her life, especially when people talked about her weight and looks. The media wouldn't leave her alone, but she stayed strong. Even with all the criticism, Adele never let it define her. She said, "I'm here for my voice, not for what people see." That's what made her different. She believed in herself. But one day, she decided to make a big change, not for others, but for herself. That decision started a journey we're going to explore today. It's a story of courage and strength. Why is Adele's story important? Because it shows us that success isn't just about awards or fame. It's about finding yourself and fighting for what matters to you. Adele won hearts with her voice, but she inspired millions with her determination. This isn't only about losing weight. It's about becoming a better version of yourself. Are you ready to hear how she did it? So let's step into Adele's world, from her early days in London to the moment she chose to change her life. This isn't just a story, it's a lesson for all of us. Get ready to see how a simple girl from Tottenham became a global star, not just with her songs, but with her incredible life. Here we go. Adele grew up in a tough part of London called Tottenham. It was a noisy, crowded place where life wasn't always easy. Her mom, Penny Adkins, raised her alone, a strong woman who worked hard to give Adele a good life. From a young age, Adele loved music. She listened to old songs at home and sang to herself in her tiny room. As she got older, her talent started to shine. She went to a famous art school in London called Brit, where she learned more about music. In 2008, she released her first album, 19, and the world met Adele for the first time. Her songs were full of emotion, feelings from her real life, like love and pain. But becoming famous wasn't easy. The media noticed more than her voice. They focused on her body. Adele was bigger than the skinny stars of Hollywood, and people wouldn't stop talking about it. Headlines were harsh and comments were sometimes mean, but Adele didn't care. She said, "I don't want to look like a model. I sing for people like me." Her confidence won her fans everywhere. Life wasn't always kind to Adele. She had family struggles and felt the pressure of fame. She's talked about her depression and anxiety, times when she turned to food for comfort, but she never gave up. Adele was a fighter in her music and in her personal life. She kept going no matter what. Those hard days built the person she became. With every challenge, Adele grew stronger. She turned her pain into songs and her struggles into success. But something bigger was coming, a moment that would change everything. Let's find out what pushed Adele to take a huge step forward. 2019 was a big year for Adele, not an easy one. After a few years with her husband, Simon Konecki, they decided to divorce. They got married in 2018 and had a son named Angelo together. Now they'd raise him separately. For Adele, this wasn't just the end of a marriage, it was a wake-up call to focus on herself. Adele said she felt empty after the divorce. Losing her marriage, being a single mom, and dealing with stress, it was too much. She's talked about her anxiety getting worse, days when she didn't know how to keep going. But instead of falling apart, she made a choice. She wanted to save herself. For her and her son. That's when Adele started seeing her life differently. She realized health wasn't just about her body. It was about her mind and heart too. She once said, "I need to be stronger because I don't want my son to see a weak mom." That love for Angelo and herself lit a fire inside her. It was time to change. Adele wasn't someone who chased crazy diets before. She'd always been okay with her body and ignored the media's rules. But this time, it wasn't about them. It was personal. She didn't just want to lose weight. She wanted to feel better, have more energy, and rediscover who she was. That's what made this moment special. This turning point was the start of something huge. Adele decided she wouldn't be a victim anymore. With a heart full of determination, she took her first step, not knowing where it would lead, but knowing she had to try. That choice changed her life, and it surprised the world. Let's see how she made it happen. Now we're at the exciting part. How did Adele lose about 45 kilos? It all began in 2019 when she chose to change her lifestyle. She started with a special diet called Cert Food. This diet uses foods like green tea, turmeric, kale, and even dark chocolate, things that wake up your metabolism. It was her first big step, but it wasn't just about food. Exercise came next. Adele teamed up with a personal trainer and worked out at least 3 times a week. She did Pilates to stretch her body, strength training to build muscles, and cardio to burn energy. She laughed in an interview saying, "I never thought I'd love exercise." But she did, and it changed her. This journey wasn't easy. Adele had days when she was tired, days when she wanted to eat pizza and forget everything. But she didn't stop. Her secret? Determination. She kept her goal in sight, not just to look different, but to feel stronger. Over 2 years, from 2019 to 2021, her body transformed, but that was only part of it. Adele made it clear this wasn't for other people, she said. "I did this for myself, not to look good in magazines." That's what made her mindset so powerful. She wasn't chasing a perfect picture. She was building a better life, one where she felt happy and healthy. Her focus was on her, not the world. What did all this hard work give her? A new Adele. Not just on the outside, but inside too. She learned what discipline means, what willpower can do, and how to keep a promise to herself. This journey wasn't only about losing weight, it was about finding strength she didn't know she had. That's the real victory. In 2020, Adele posted a photo on Instagram that shocked everyone. Wearing a simple black dress, she looked like a new person, reborn. Fans went wild, and the news shouted, "Adele lost 45 kilos!" But for her, this was more than a number. It was the beginning of a fresh chapter in her life. You could hear that change in her album 30, released in 2021. The songs were full of freedom and power, things she'd earned over those 2 years. This album was like a diary of her life. Divorce, sadness, and then joy and growth. People loved it, and it became another huge hit. Her music matched her new self, but Adele's real gift was her message. She told her fans, "It's not about what others see, it's about how you feel." Those words hit home for millions. People who struggled with weight or confidence saw her and thought, "If she can do it, so can I." She became a light for anyone wanting to change. Adele's impact went beyond her songs. It touched real lives. Moms who felt stuck after having kids, young people wanting to feel better, they all found a piece of themselves in her story. Now Adele is a global role model, not just for her voice, but for her strength. She taught us that you can rise from your darkest days and build yourself again. Her story isn't only about weight loss. It's about loving yourself and fighting for you. That's why Adele will always stay in our hearts. So, what can we learn from Adele's story? First, set goals for yourself, not for others. Adele didn't change to please the world. She did it for her own happiness. That's a big lesson. When you focus on you, the results feel real and lasting. It's all about what you want. Second, change takes time. Adele lost 45 kilos over 2 years, not overnight. She took small steps, stayed patient, and kept working. This tells us not to rush. Every little move you make gets you closer to your dream. Just don't stop walking. Third, and maybe the biggest, your willpower is your strength. Adele had tough days when she wanted to quit, but she didn't. She promised herself she'd keep going, and she did. That determination turned her into the Adele we admire today, and you have that power too. Adele's story isn't just about success. It's a call to all of us. Stop for a second and think, what do you want to change in your life? A bad habit, a heavy feeling, or a big goal? Adele showed us that anything is possible if you want it and work for it. Her journey inspires us to try. Now it's your turn. Adele took the world with her voice and rebuilt herself with her will. What will you do? Write your thoughts below and tell me, what's your first step to change? Let's get inspired together and, like Adele, make ourselves new. Her story isn't over. It starts with you.